Hey, welcome to Post Definitely. I'm Jordan Michael. This week we have Mitski. Mitski is a band, but she's also a person based out of Brooklyn, New York. During the interview, we kind of get into the fact that she's not really from anywhere, and by the time you're listening to this, she will have moved out of her apartment and will be living on tour. She grew up all over the world and eventually settled down at SUNY Purchase, where she studied composition at the Conservatory of Music. Her first two albums were released on Bandcamp, but her third, which is the album most of you know her by, Bury Me at Makeout Creek, was released by the Brooklyn Purchase, if there's a difference anymore, label Double Double Whammy. Makeout Creek was reissued by Don Giovanni this past April via deluxe edition, and you can buy it now. So, I have a strong feeling a lot of people aren't going to be with me on this comparison, and I know Mitski doesn't even listen to this band. So it's a totally off comparison, at least by intent, but what her music reminds me of the most is Thin Lizzy. There's a lot of obvious discrepancies between the two, in both tone and aesthetic, but there's a chord that they both strike with me, and it resonates really strong. Her music's grandiose while still being human. Mitski's songs aren't about you, and they might not even be about her. I'm not going to assume as much to say that they are. But they're clearly about somebody specific. And they're personal. And regardless of who that person is, you're rooting for them. It's that fist-clenching anthemic music, but it's without the machismo and gaudiness that has defined that style so much in the past. A lot of our conversation is about the expectations both fans and journalists project onto her. Actually, one of the things we specifically talk about is how frustrating she finds out-of-left-field comparisons to her music to be. So I guess I'm going to have to defend that. Here's the interview. Music by Mitski in between segments. Enjoy. You're from all over, right?
Yeah, so my father works for the State Department. He's a Foreign Service officer, so we move to a different country every year or every other year. So I have a Japanese passport and a U.S. passport, but that's to the extent of my knowledge of, like, where I'm from, you know? So.
How many countries have you lived in?
I think, I don't really know. I went to 13 schools, but some of those schools were, like, in the same country, so I don't know. And I've also lived in countries without going to school there, so I have never really counted. I should, like, tally them up.
That's
sometime.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So when you think of, like, going home, where do you think about? Like, is that even a place?
That's not a place, and, like, I had, whatever identity crisis about it, like, a few years ago, but now I'm fine with, like, not having a home. It's just, like, I don't know, it's convenient for my lifestyle right now because I'm on tour all the time, and, like, having some place to miss can be really inconvenient. But I think, like, for holidays, I just go wherever my parents are at the moment, or just go to my friend's house or whatever.
Man, that's crazy. My bedroom at my mom's house is the room my crib was in.
That's amazing. I kind of love that. I really, like, even though I say, like, it's okay to not have a home, I still, like, have fantasies about, like, oh, wow, it would have been so nice if I, like, knew a place since I was born, Yeah,
I can't even fathom not having that.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm from Orange County, New York. It's like an hour outside the city.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on an airplane 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So, like, your carbon footprint is really great.
Yeah, I guess. I also don't know how to drive, so...
Oh, I actually know
I've taken public transit everywhere.
Yeah, I know how to drive, but I don't have a license, which is really Actually, I should get a license because I'm going to be on tour, and I've always had other people drive for me, but I should actually have a license for that.
Does not having, like, a stable base growing up. Does that make touring easier?
Yeah, it makes it easier because my whole life has been about adapting to new environments. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know any different, so I don't know if touring would have been harder or easier if I had a home base, because I don't know what that feels like. But
okay, well, is touring easy?
Touring is great for me. I feel like I'm like in my element when I'm on tour. When I'm like heading towards something always, you know, because on tour there's such a sense of purpose where you go somewhere and you do your job and then you go another place and you do your job. And I'm like, I feel like I'm so in my element when I'm on tour. So yeah, I don't know. That's why this whole year I want to be on tour. Just, I don't like, once this place, this apartment that we're in right now, which is mine, once the lease is up, I'm just not going to renew the lease and not have a place and just like be on the road.
Who books your tours?
Well, I did up until now. I haven't, all my tours so far have been either booked by me or like the people I'm on tour with. But I just recently got a booking agent because it got to a point where like I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah,
it's
also
just,
people want to see you play now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck those people. These horrible people that want to see you play music and pay $10 to do so.
Yeah, so
Who's your booking agent?
right now, it's two people, Max and Jackie. I've never actually met them, but they're part of some booking agency. They're professionals, so I trust them.
Cool.
And this whole year is going to be about touring, so I just don't have the capacity to book anymore, just because I can't book, like, the rest of my year on my own, you know? So, yeah. I have booking agents now.
What did you do prior to this? Because I haven't known you for so long. I feel like the first show we did was May of this year, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It was at Death by Audio.
Yeah.
So I've known you for a little under a year, and until Mike from Double Double Whammy emailed me saying that he had a new artist that that was on his label and he wanted to do a show for, I had never heard of you or seen you on a bill with people I know.
Yeah. Well, that was because, like, I graduated from SUNY Purchase basically either the year we met or the year before. I guess, I graduated 2013, class of 2013.
So I met you right before you graduated.
Yeah, and then, so I like, started playing shows actively in NYC once I graduated. I think that's why it is. And before that, I was just... I wasn't much of a band person. I was more like, I was a composition person, so I like had recitals, you know, in my conservatory. I wasn't really in the whole like going to shows mentality. That's a really recent thing, actually.
Did you go to the Purchase Conservatory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Wait, so what was touring like doing that?
My first tour I went on was mostly just an excuse to go on a road trip with my friends from Conservatory, and it was like, it was the best tour ever, but it also wasn't a real professional lucrative thing. It was just like, let's go jump into rivers in upstate New York, you know. And then the second tour I did was with my band, and that was once I was on DDW. And then the third one was with Level Up, which was like a cross-country thing. And the fourth one was with Johanna Warren, who's another singer-songwriter.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. And then those are the 4 tours I've been on.
So the last 3 tours happened, in the past year?
Yeah.
Oh, so touring's new for you for the most part.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm not like...
I guess not, because you've been on tour your whole life, but...
Yeah, the whole, like, being in a band and touring thing is new. The whole doing music thing is not new. I've been doing that for a while. Just this new format is very new to me.
Trying
that question again. So you're asking me whether like people resent me for things?
Yeah.
Yes, people definitely resent me for things, and I'm like in the thick of it right now. I shouldn't like mention any names, but they're just
I'm surprised there are names. Most of the time it's just like douchebags on the internet.
No, it's all real.
Oh fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks because, well, okay, so I guess like I'm in a scene in that I like play with a lot of the same bands, or like I play in similar venues, and so now that I'm like branching out or like trying different things, a lot of those people have expressed that they feel betrayed or like, I don't know, used in a way. Like I used the whatever scene there is to get ahead, and that's like so hurtful because the fact is, in my mind, I would have been doing this music thing regardless of any scene, but I found this scene and I really liked it, so I immersed myself in it, and then now I'm trying to do something different. And so it's like I'm still in the thick of it, so it's hard for me to explain, but a lot of people have assumed that that people are listening to my music because I'm in a certain scene. And in my mind, I've been making music regardless of any scene, and even if I wasn't in this quote-unquote scene, I still would have been doing music, you know? I don't know. I feel like I'm going in circles.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just want you to clarify. You keep saying now that you're going off in a different direction. Mm-hmm. What's that actually mean?
That mostly just means like, I don't know, starting to like work with different bands or trying to play different venues and like expanding and doing things that I haven't done before that isn't confined to the Brooklyn scene or to certain venues or certain bands. And I'm just getting to know a lot of different people, and I'm just growing as an artist and thinking of like different kinds of music to make. It's not compound in that I have a plan to do something different. It's just that
you're growing.
Yeah.
I feel like when this happens, and I feel like it also invariably happens to anyone who starts to become successful, the two forms it takes are, one, people who have been around for a long time finally getting recognized, and what they're told is you represent this community and now you're abandoning it.
Yeah.
Like you're a staple and now you're leaving us.
Yeah.
And we need you.
Right.
And then the other time it happens is you never cared about this community. You used us as a stepping stone. Mm-hmm. You didn't pay your dues.
Yeah.
And there's no winning.
Yeah,
it's
there
either
really isn't.
You need to be playing your friend's house for the rest of your life mm-hmm. because you owe it to us.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know what people think you should have done instead. It's
yeah,
like should,
and that it's that
like,
sense of entitlement. That
it was Barry Gordy gonna like show up to your dorm room and
right.
give you a record contract?
Yeah.
Barry Gordy being for some reason the only music like records executive I could possibly think of.
But yeah, that's exactly it, and it's a lot of people have like turned around and made it seem like I've gone corporate greed, and that's insane because I'm still not making any money, and I've actively been turning down all these different offers, even though it would be nice to have money, just because I don't align with whatever those companies or whatever those projects stood for. So I've actually been like fighting off opportunities to make money. So being told that like I'm abandoning the scene for money is like so enraging to me, because but I'm like I'm not, and I can't and I see other people in my scene like having their music in commercials, And I'm like, that's great for them. And I never take it upon myself to like condemn them for that, because every musician is on their own path. It's just I don't want to have my music in commercials. So it's bewildering to think that other musicians or other people in the scene would condemn me for doing what I feel is right for my career, and I'm not even like doing any of the things that they're accusing me of, you know. So it's just it's all high school. It's all just like words flying around that aren't true. I feel like I'm getting way too deep into
Yeah, let's talk about something else. I'm trying to think. I have something I want to talk to you about that might enrage you more.
Okay.
And I feel like maybe we should talk about something happier, but there's a chance that this might go nowhere, and if it does, I'll just like edit it out. But I feel like the farther people get away from being straight, white, or a guy.
Oh my God.
Hold on. The closer they get to people making comparisons to other people's music that has nothing to do with their music and just has to do with some identifying factor.
Yes. That's accurate.
What's the current champion of somebody that you're sick of getting compared to that you feel like actually has nothing to do with your music?
Well, when I used to do piano songs, people would say Regina Spektor, and I would just be like, "That's not true."
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
but now that I don't play piano anymore, people don't say that. I don't know. It's well, the thing is, there's a lot of Angel Olsen comparisons, and I don't mind those because I really love her music, but I also feel like the fact that everyone is saying Angel Olsen has to do with the fact that she's a woman.
I don't get how you're aesthetically similar.
I don't either. Well, that's the thing. And then someone on Facebook recently said, this is a quote, Alex G with girl parts, and I was just like, oh no.
I actually, hold on.
Well,
that is phrased horribly.
Yeah.
But in spirit, I agree with that the most.
I know, and that's why I like that comment. But it's just like, at the same time, I'm like, why do you have to use the term girl parts? It's just like...
You also have similar haircuts.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We're aesthetically similar in that way. But anyway, so there's yeah, but that's...
Who's using the phrase girl parts?
I don't know who that person is. It was just it was a comment on one of my statuses, and it's just like, but the thing is, it's one of those things where it's like a lot of people just, even me a year or two ago would have like said some really faux pas shit because I wasn't informed. So a lot of it has to do with just being informed. Like, this kid was probably in high school and didn't know how to
it's just a matter of you've never had a conversation about that.
Yeah.
That is how people talk.
Yeah.
And unless you have a conversation about why that sounds dumb, you don't realize it because everyone talks like that.
Right, yeah. So, but anyway, that's one, like, I liked that comment and I got where that person was coming from, but there was a part of me that was like, I get a lot of messages and emails from people I don't know who like listen to my music, and I think because of the emotional content of my music, people really relate to both my music and to me as a person, which is a really beautiful thing. But sometimes it seems to be forgotten that they don't actually know me, or they feel like they know me but they don't actually, and they email me or message me as if, you know, we've been friends for a long time, and they share a lot of things with me, and they kind of unload on me. And on one hand, I think that's like a wonderful and like honorable position to be in, where people trust me with their personal issues and lives. But on the other hand, like, I can't always answer to that, or I can't always emotionally fulfill them or like reply with good answers as to what they're talking to me about. And it's just, and there's so much expectation for me to, or there's so much expectation for me to be like a counselor in a way, or it seems like it, because they message me and I don't know how to respond, or I don't feel comfortable responding, so I don't respond, or I just like respond with a shorter email, and then like I get another email like, I thought, you know, you would understand, or like I thought like I shared this with you, or like, why are you ignoring me, or I thought you were, you know, in my scene, or I get these kind of like resentful messages afterwards when I'm not who they thought I was. And that's always painful, because it seems to be forgotten that we've never met, or like I don't actually know them, or I don't owe them anything.
Who are these people?
Honestly, it's mostly, you know, I don't know who they are. They just like find, because I'm active on social media and Tumblr, and so I guess because I interact a lot, they find me.
But are they like in New York? Are they teenagers? Are they girls?
Mostly, I mean, I get a lot of things from teenagers, and I don't want people who are listening to this, whoever they are, to be like, oh, she doesn't want to like talk to me, because that's not my point. Because it's always really wonderful when people open up to me and I feel a connection with people I don't know. Like, oh, they understood my lyrics, or oh, they related to what I was saying. But it's also like, it's a fine line between that and then feeling like they're entitled, or I owe them a friendship, or I owe them kind of like a guidance, because I'm not qualified to do that. I'm a musician, and I'm like a young person just like them, and I don't know the answers, and I can't be everybody's best friend, you know? So that's like a painful thing for me, actually, because I do want to relate to and help all these people who are reaching out, but I don't know how to, you know?
Who did you relate to when you were a teenager?
I don't know. I feel like the maybe it's a generational thing. I didn't.
You're 23.
Yeah, I didn't, and also my family just got internet really late, and we were abroad, so I didn't really have a chance to talk to any of the people I related to. So maybe it's like an internet thing where they feel like they're closer, or they feel like they can talk to me more, which is great, but it's also like I can't be held responsible for their feelings, you know?
I think a lot of it is people feeling like there's another half to how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of being a teenager is you're like filled with all these feelings, but you don't know where they go.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you end up projecting that on the things that incite those feelings.
Right, totally.
Be it like a crush or an artist or somebody like that. And if somebody really likes Fiona Apple, they can't like Tumblr message her.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so that's it's I don't know what the answer is, because I really do want to connect with people in that way, because I know what it feels like, and I know it like makes all the difference when there's just even one person out there who says like, I'm sorry, or just like, I know how that feels. But I have a really complex life to live as well, and I'm really fucked up too. So it's like you can't hand me your life and expect me to do something with it.
Yeah, I also can't imagine anyone who could have benefited from me giving them advice when I was 23.
Yeah. I know. So all I can really say is, dude, I know.
Thanks again to my guest, Mitski. The songs that played in between segments were Townie and First Love Late Spring, in that order, Townie being first. For more information, go to Mitski.com or DonGiovanniRecords.com. Next week, I'm going to have on Jonah Furman from Krill. And, hey, I'm on iTunes and Stitcher and SoundCloud and TuneIn. Subscribe to whichever of those you use or don't. I won't find out either way because I don't know how the internet works. Thanks again to Owen Ashworth for the intro and outro music. See you next week. Meow, meow, meow. Reading off the script wrong. It's because I wrote the script wrong.